Are you under the impression that Sydney is lifeless and there's not much to do ever since COVID? Well, let me show you otherwise with a 2-day full itinerary guide available on bestspots.com.au. Starting off, we have Ragazzi, a renowned Italian restaurant that I highly recommend. I reckon it's the best Italian restaurant in Sydney. The restaurant is small and cozy, so I highly recommend that you book ahead and save spot. If you ever see the beef tartare, then I highly recommend opting for that. Otherwise, go for their pastas. It changes daily, but you'll be surprised on the presentation and how all the textual elements and the flavors that combine, how they come up with it, I don't even know. It's quite fantastic. I highly recommend it because it's going to be a memorable experience and it's how you're going to start your weekend straight. So after you're filled with carbs, my next pit stop recommendation is Employers Only. It's a New York style hidden bar that may be a little bit hard to find, but all you have to do is keep an eye out for the neon sign that says Psychic. And if you haven't already, I recommend booking ahead. There's an extensive cocktail menu with at least 10 of them. I've tried 2 flavors and my favorite is the Phrase Sauvage cocktail. It's got wild strawberry, vanilla, gin that's been shaken up, served straight in a glass. And the best thing about this bar is that if you end up drinking too much for too long, then there's a whole bunch of appetizers and shared plates to enjoy as well. The food at this bar is actually of a higher level. In particular, I recommend the crab tostadas and the prawn and scallop dumplings. If you feel like the night's not over, then head over to Darling Harbour, which is 10 minutes away from Employees Only Bar. If you feel like clubbing, you can head over to Cargo Bar. Or if you feel like watching a movie, then head over to IMAX, our iconic cinema, which has the biggest screen in Australia. Alternatively, if you want something chill but still exciting, then head over to Time Zone to play some classic arcade games or some basketball or some air hockey and have some bubble tea while you're at it. We start off your Saturday in the heart of Sydney at Circular Quay, surrounded by 4 of Sydney iconic sites. We have the Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, the Rocks, and the Botanical Gardens. For the bridge, it's 500 meters long and 134 meters above the water. For the braid, you can also climb it. Then we have the iconic Sydney Opera House. You may think it's just a building shaped as sails, but it's actually immensely popular with 1,500 performances a year and millions of visitors every year. Then we have the Rocks, where you can find Sydney's oldest pub and a whole lot of heritage buildings to experience the ambience of Sydney. Up next, we have the Sydney Royal Botanical Gardens, which is 30 hectares long and has 5,000 different plants. And as it's so massive, it's fantastic for a morning walk. If you're excited to discover the best spots in Sydney, then download our guide at bestspots.com.au.